Hey guys, what is going on? This is Ip of RageQuitTV, gonna be casting a game between Elfi and TLO. It is a ZVP on Antiga Shipyards, and my apologies if this cast is a little bit off. I am just getting over a cold, which is why I did not cast yesterday. But I'm feeling much better now, so we will be getting into this game. It is a PVZ on Antiga Shipyards. They do spawn cross positions, which I believe are the best possible positions for a Zerg player, because if the Protoss wants to do any early gateway timing, the Zerg has plenty of time to bait out force fields as he traverses across the middle of the map. If they spawn in any other position, I mean, you got the Protoss, they can put a pylon here, get warp and reinforcements for free pretty much, right next to the Zerg. It's just such a pain to deal with. Cross positions, though, not that bad. It's actually a pretty good map, I believe, overall, if you do get these positions, which I believe the MLG version does force cross positions. And TLO, as a player, he is a very good player nowadays. He was in kind of a slump, but it's because how he looks at the game and how he analyzes it. He is one of those players that is very hard on himself, and he will play worse if it means he will play better in the long run. What I mean by that, if you listen to like any interviews he has, he talks about things like, if you ever have an idle creep tumor, you're bad. If you miss an inject, you're bad. It's just mistakes. He tries to look at those and tries to minimize the number of mistakes he has. And also, TLO is never in the same spot at once. He loves doing multi-pronged attacks, and he loves making use of just odd strategies, and that's how TLO did get famous, is just his odd strategies that he does use. And TLO is going to be going for a hatch first, so a little bit odd right off the bat. Elfi does see this, goes for that forge first. He is going to be going for a forge fast expand, but this allows him to do a little bit of cannon rushing, and TLO is probably going against the cannon rush enough times to know exactly how to defend it. But no matter what, if you know how to defend it, every now and then you just mess up, and that's why players don't really do this. It is a very risky strategy to go hatch first, but eventually maybe players will fully figure it out. Right now, there's just so many different cannon positions that can make it just undefendable. When your drones can't attack one gets up, that's pretty much it. TLO is going to be pulling a handful of drones, and also because TLO has pulled all these drones, if Elfi just cancels everything and goes back home, it will be just about even. TLO is losing a lot of mining time with these 7 drones pulled off the line. I don't know how long they have been mining, but it's long enough for them to miss out on at least 100 minerals, which is what Elfi will lose for this pylon, and lost around, I guess, 70 minerals on the cancellation of 2 cannons. This one probe is going to be sticking around or going back home. It looks like he is going to be going back home. TLO is getting his pull up. Successful hatch first. Going to this worker count, TLO is only up 1 drone. Nexus has started. We do have a gateway and a cannon, and Elfi didn't even need to get this cannon. When a Zerg player goes for that hatch first, you are very, very, very safe going for like a forge, gateway, cybernetic core, then a cannon. But what TLO knows, by delaying this one, well, by allowing his opponent to cannon rush him, he has essentially delayed the warp gate research by at least 30 seconds. There's no way for Elfi to get his warp gates done in time, in normal time, because he has wasted so much time, so many minerals getting those pylon and those cannons up. He only lost like 160, but at one time he had like a 400 mineral buffer just sitting there doing nothing. So Elfi's build is slowed down a little bit, so maybe TLO does come out ahead on that. It's not really known. I don't think anyone really knows who comes out ahead. It's a huge gamble for a Zerg player to do it. Generally speaking, Protoss comes out ahead. But in this case, looking at the work count, I'm going to say TLO did come out ahead, and he has delayed the cybernetic core, which is relatively nice. Going to the warp gate research, not warp gate research, chrono boost here. We do see Elfi using them a great deal, so he cannot chrono boost this warp gates out. He has used that chrono boost to try to keep up in the worker count when TLO is already ahead. We do have this one probe going to be sneaking in and trying to find out if there's a bailing bust or anything coming or any roach aggression. Just wants to go and see the gas. That is all that Elfi is concerned about, but maybe he won't even care about that. No, he is going in, sees that one gas, doesn't see it taken, and I think he saw this gas and saw it wasn't taken. So Elfi probably right now knows it is safe to do whatever the heck he wants. TLO is in no position to do anything aggressive. He is just getting another hatch up. We do have the warp gate research started. It looks like it will be finishing probably around the 8-minute mark, just because it did get delayed the 30 seconds. Robo facility is being built by Elfi. This is probably because he saw that the Zerg wasn't being too, he wasn't going to be aggressive. The Stalker does come in here, sees the hatch, and maybe just going to try to kill an Overlord or two right now. Could be going in and try to kill the drones, but the Queens are there protecting the drones, and Elfi just wants to be safe and just get an Overlord. Nothing wrong with this, but the Ling is going to come, allow the Overlord to get away because the Stalker does not attack the Lings for a little bit. And now that Overlord does live with two Stalkers here, though, Elfi is going to be a lot scarier than before. We do have 3 Roaches on the way, though. Going to be trying to kite this one Queen. Very nice micro from Elfi. Keeping those Stalkers away, and now going to try to take out this Queen. Will he get it? He is going to see a handful of Lings. And those Lings actually surround one of those Stalkers, but give up and turn around. And now the Stalkers are going to be able to get out of there, possibly. Ling splitting up, saying, no escape for you. Going to pick off both those Stalkers. Very nice micro from TLO to keep those Ling spread out to catch both of those Stalkers. And now Ling speed research is not done yet. This one Stalker should make it all the way back home. And Elfi is going to have to get a Zealot out to be able to hold against those Lings. And then those Roaches are going to be becoming a little bit of an issue. Spore Crawler is being built by TLO, realizing, okay, something's not right. You sent 2 Stalkers at me. That's all you have right now. The gas has to be going somewhere. If you go Stalker, generally, they are going to be doing something behind this because he didn't go like Stalker Sentry, which is the much more common route, I guess. Maybe that's what TLO is seeing. I don't know exactly. Or maybe he even saw that 3rd Stalker. So seeing all 3 Stalkers definitely is probably something that sets TLO thinking, okay, what's going on here? We do have the +1 finishing, and TLO did end up seeing the +1 on the... No, he didn't get to see that. The Ling caught up, but did not see the upgrade, oddly as that sounds. He saw the 7X and everything. Yeah, he saw everything, just not this upgrade. So, as odd as it sounds, TLO doesn't know that +1 attack is on the way. We do have a Colossus on the way out. This Warp Gate, Chrono Boost, not Warp Gate Research. Why do I keep saying that? The Chrono Boost is now starting to stack up for Elfi. It is 2 base Protoss versus a 3 base Zerg. But with these Colossus, Elfi is going to be able to do a lot of damage right now, though he doesn't have any type of buffer for that Colossus. It's mainly going to be for defense, as he can't really use it on offense because it will just go down. There's no buffer whatsoever for it. I guess you got the 1 Immortal. Elfi is going to be getting some sentries out still. I'm waiting to see when he starts that Zealot production. We do have an Overseer now coming in from TLO. Going to get a scout on exactly what Elfi is doing. Spots that 1 Artosis pylon, but that is way tucked away. I don't think TLO can really do anything about that. TLO is finishing his 1-1 upgrades. Elfi has just 1 attack, hasn't started anything besides that. The Colossus is being Chrono boosted out. After that is an Observer. The Thermal Lance just about done, so it looks like he is going to be doing a 2 Colossus push. And we'll see how effective the 2 Colossus push out is. TLO just taking out all the rocks, not letting his units be idle anytime, and this is what I'm talking about. TLO's just like, okay, if there's anything idle, it's bad. And finding a use for his Lings, taking out all these rocks. He can definitely abuse it. The Blink Stalkers did come back. They may just try to blink up on the high ground to get to safety anywhere they can. And TLO say, nope, that's not going to happen. The rocks can never hurt TLO if he takes them down, while they can only help Elfi. So great move for TLO, taking those rocks out. Elfi is moving out across the map. TLO, I don't think he has enough to really stop this, but he is going to be trying to. Those 2 Colossus are definitely going to become an issue, and TLO is going to be retreating from this, getting his Spire up. Just wants to delay Elfi as long as he possibly can, so he can get Corruptors out. Now starting to split his units, using Overlords to give a little bit of creep for those Roaches. While some Lings and Roaches on in, TLO sees, okay, you don't have a 3rd base, and now going to be continuing to keep his unit split up so he can try to get away, and he is delaying time just so he can get that Spire up. Those Lings going to be going down for the most part. And now TLO is hiding off in the corner. Elfi going to be moving out yet again. That Spire is only halfway done. We do have Pathogen Glands now starting. And Elfi is going across the map with everything he has. TLO looks like he is setting up to do a counter-attack, as he is taking 2 more bases in the bottom right. And Elfi going to be taking out these rocks. TLO now going to be going right through the middle and going up to Elfi's base. Elfi has completely walled himself in. Does have 3 cannons behind this. And TLO's base is definitely going to be falling down. We do have all the drones now transferring away from this 3rd base, leaving some mining, but transferring a good majority of them away. While TLO does come in, now burst down. The Cybernetic Sword does fall. more pylons being built, a warp prism trying to come down, but that is not going to be completed. And TLO is now going into the main base at the same time as the natural, taking out all these, ensuring there is no more production capabilities from Elfi. More roaches going to be coming in. Probe transfer is going down. Elfi does have 1k minerals, while TLO only has 30 or 90 minerals. So this isn't looking good right now for TLO. Elfi is making a lot. He could set up base elsewhere. And TLO's force, I don't know if he could actually kill this. This is a very scary force. Elfi has kept most of his force fields, or at least all of them, alive. Force field going down, preventing the drones from going up to the high ground. TLO is getting a Nidus worm. Nidus network up, and if he gets the worm up in time, the roaches can now escape. He doesn't have the overlord drop or overlord speed, so it's looking like he's using that Nidus worm to get his roaches out of there. And with those roaches getting out, this force may be big enough to actually take this out. TLO is getting up his next base. Roaches now going to be engaging this force. Looks like he is just buying time, and the drones are actually going to be the first to escape. The worm is being built, and will those drones manage to get out of it in time? It looks like yes, they will. TLO with a beautiful escape. Zealot comes down here, but the Zealot's like, oh my god, your base is now saturated. Very nicely played, TLO. These roaches are idle right now. That could be definitely helping, killing off all the structures. And the probes have made it down here. Elfi still has around 900 minerals to build what he wants. Going to be getting assemblators. Of course, he still has money to build a Nexus. TLO still leaving some of his roaches, or a lot of them, are idle. But at this point, TLO just has to re-get all his tech. His lair did get sniped. He doesn't have an infestation bit, so he can no longer build infestors. Has a few corruptors on the map, and that will be very handy to take out those Colossus. And going to this army supply, TLO is in the lead. It's all going to come down to Elfi's force fields, or if TLO manages to snipe any of those Colossus. One Colossus living with 11 HP. He's going to go back in for that. He's got blood. One Colossus does go down. This may be what TLO needs to win this game. He has a base. Elfi doesn't. Now he's going to be taking out those probes. Killing all those probes would be huge. The Colossus does live with 140 HP left. And now Elfi is going to be going into whatever base you want to call this. And one Corruptor is coming out to try to take out the Colossus, but TLO not going to be engaging that. There are assemblers out around the map, and TLO, I mean, Elfi is revealed, so TLO could try to just kill those off. Or it looks like he's trying to just try to catch this Colossus in a bad position. Going to kill off this one assemblator. There are probes here. Of course, TLO doesn't know that Elfi has money. And Elfi is going to be building a pylon right before he takes out TLO's base. Roach 1 is done. One Roach is coming out. Going to be whittling the shields off of these Stalkers. But it does just regenerate. Elfi, he's at 72 psi. That's it. That's it. He's a whole number. I've never actually seen that. A whole number above 1 in supply. He's at 72 psi. That's it. He's not out of anything. He's just at 72, which means these units, these guys are starving. Like, oh my god, I can't imagine how hungry those guys are. We do have an Evo chamber with this extractor. A few extractors left for TLO, but TLO doesn't have enough to build another hatch, so he is going to have to engage this army now. Oh no, he has 2 hatches going up. What am I talking about? There's 2. He has some drones left, so that is definitely good. Few zealots up there. TLO cannot engage with half his army. That would be a crucial mistake. Just looking like if he can try to trap any units, doesn't look like he can. Going back to the units tab, there is an observer out and following Elfi's army just in case TLO did have burrow. Now TLO going to be splitting up his units, needs to get all the roaches in, getting whatever he can. He knows the gold base is going up, but Elfi, I mean, he can't build units for a long time. He needs to build a lot of pylons. And TLO setting up a full surround on Elfi. And will he be able to execute this correctly? Oh my god, it is coming! TLO surround coming in, full surround on all of Elfi's units. Force fields do go down. This Colossus cannot be targeted. Is in the middle of everything as TLO does try to go up in there. But Elfi just has too much. Still some force fields left. This one Colossus, these roaches need to go off to attack the Colossus. but maybe not. The Guardian Shields are being very helpful. You can see TLO splitting up his roaches to minimize that Colossus AoE. Nice micro from TLO splitting them up, but is it going to be enough? It doesn't look like it is. The Colossus just barely lives. And TLO, oh man, TLO, what a hard-fought battle. And looking back at that, I mean, he could have waited, but he couldn't have ever got a better engagement than what he just did with that full surround. That was as good as it gets for TLO. If he waited a little bit, he could have got more guys out because he had one less drone, but the Protoss had to build like 8 pylons before he could build a single unit. There goes the GG, while TLO could build a lot. But let's look at that battle again. That was something else. So on the main map, you can see everything's positioning. Going around. There's Roaches like, yep, that's where the army is. You can see everything gonna be hitting this one normal speed instead of the normal faster. And TLO coming in. Elfi now deciding, okay, force field's gonna get placed there. That does stop TLO from going into this area. These force fields did just block off this area, which is the only way the Colossus can get hit. Because of these, the Colossus now can micro back and kind of use the gas and minerals as a force field. And that's what the Colossus is going to do. You can see TLO. He's trying to keep his units as split up as possible. Now realizing, okay, I can't go in. Colossus is just doing so much damage. What I think TLO needs to do, but Elfi still has plenty more force fields, is get a few roaches, force target this Stalker down, and then run and try to kill the Colossus. Because that is what's going to be doing a lot of the damage of this. Or right now, he could probably just move out and kill the Colossus, but instead, he's going to try to minimize the Colossus damage. And if the Colossus... Actually, let's think about this. If the Colossus only hits one unit, 34. It'll still probably have more DPS than the Stalker. Okay. Well, it'd probably be about even. It's probably about even. And now TLO is just going to be retreating as I go and get the game up in SC2 gears. To cast. Okay, we're in SC2 gears now. List all replays of this source. Game Elf. There we go. So we'll look at TLO's injects because that is here. 10 minutes. 7.6. Not bad. Not bad. He can do a little bit better. I mean, you can see right here. Small miss. But overall, not bad. 7.6. Definitely acceptable. It's about what everyone has. Unit tiers. I don't know if this is going to be showing us that much, honestly. This is more of like a decision, a strategical game, than it was an actual mechanic game. So I don't know what we can really look at with SC2 Gears, as SC2 Gears shows a lot more about the mechanics, when again, this wasn't a mechanical game. You had TLO's brilliant use of Niduses going around the map, trying to keep himself alive, then base trade happened relatively early on in the game. I did cast one of the shorter games, or actually the smaller games in terms of space, because I am just coming down, just getting over something, and I don't want to be doing too much talking. So, hope you enjoy the game, take care, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow.